I met Darrin when I was 19, he was 25 at the time.
We met in the early 90s. I was in a hip hop group called 046, and some of my band members were friends with her. We met sort of at a concert one day.
Things happened very fast. We moved in together within a few months, I think. A few months after that, we got engaged and ended up moving out and getting our own apartment. So, and we actually didn't last we're probably about just under 2 years, and we went our separate ways at that time.
Pretty much didn't see her for the last 16 years.
Over the years, I always thought about him. I always, wondered what he was doing. And then at a time in my life, like after my strokes, my mind was wandering back to him again. I thought I'd check him out on Facebook and see if I could find him. A couple of times I looked for him before and didn't find him. He wasn't online. But then one day he popped up as one of those people that I might know because we actually had a friend in common. From there, I checked out his profile and was able to check out his photos, check out his marital status, saw that he was still single. And so I poked him and he poked me back, and then we just started messaging backwards and forwards.
After reconnecting through Facebook and arranging some dates and meeting up for coffee and that, we got to know each other and decided that we were going to continue seeing each other.
And yeah, the connection was still there. We just sort of like clicked straight away, and sorry. Yeah, we still had our connection was still there, and yeah, it was like no time had passed. It was like everything sort of came together.
I think just excitement for me. I was pretty much single for a long part of my life, like working and getting stuck in work and looking after my parents. So the first time I'd seen Virginia after all these years, it was like I was just overwhelmed with happiness to see her. And knowing that she was being taken care of through Wesley, that comforted me.
He proposed to me on my 40th birthday. I did joke around with him saying, if I wasn't married by the age of 40, but he ended up proposing to me on my 40th birthday. And we got married on Easter Sunday, the 31st of March in 2013.
Which led me to pretty much a whole new world of sort of the disability side of things. My mother has a disability. She's had strokes in the past, and it's affected her greatly, and that sort of encouraged myself and other family members to see things in a different perspective.
But for 2 years we actually lived apart. So as a married couple, we were forced to live in separate homes. So that was very difficult because we weren't able to be together because I was in supported accommodation and he was living at his house. But he would come over every weekend, which is another thing I'm also grateful to Wesley for, because they allowed us to continue our relationship whilst living in a home. So they made that possible.
I think with Wesley Disability Services, regarding myself and Virginia, I felt respected. Going to a place that, it's somebody else's home. There are other people that live there. But also the management and the staff that work there, very respectful and very polite.
And even when we encountered some opposition from other like my housemate at the time, they also fought for us to be able to do that. So they very much made that a possibility. So that was having that support there by the management. That was incredible. That made our relationship more solid in terms of that we were able to be together without all that opposition. We still had the opposition actually, but we just didn't care because we had the support. The future now is all about new life, new beginnings. With there's such a big change, just recently with moving into our new home. It's about settling in, and after we've settled in, having that new life with my mother-in-law and my husband, being able to finally sleep in the same bed again, finally being able to share our lives with one another. It's been the first time that we've been able to do that since we were together almost 20 years ago. So it's challenging, but it's fun to be able to work those out and basically move things at our own pace and make our own rules at our own pace and live our own lives without having, other constraints from living in supported accommodation, which is good for it had its purpose, but our purpose now is to live our life as we choose to live it.